Most people train streetlifting wrong. Not because they don't train hard, but because they don't know what kind of sport it is. They mix streetlifting with calisthenics, with bodybuilding, with powerlifting, even with weightlifting. And when you mix sports, you mix rules. So in this video, I will do one thing. I will explain what streetlifting actually is, what it is not, and how that changes how you should think about training. This is not a program. This should only serve as an orientation, in particular for driven beginners to intermediates and eventually even pro athletes. To understand the training, we first need to understand the sport. Streetlifting is a strength sport, not a freestyle sport and not a physique method. It's maximal strength in a small number of different movements. The muscle up, the pull up or chin up, dips, and squats. These lifts are highly skill dependent, but here is the key constraint. In streetlifting, you are the unstable object. The load doesn't need to be balanced, you do. That one constraint changes everything. It means small changes in position lead to big changes in output. And this is why streetlifting doesn't reward variety first. It rewards repeatability. The same movement, the same setup, the same constraint, before adding more load and before adding more volume. Once you understand that constraint, the next confusion makes total sense. People try to compare streetlifting to other strength sports, but let's clear that up. Comparisons themselves aren't wrong by any means. What is wrong is comparing different constraint systems. So, for example, a bench press is externally stabilized. The bench is supporting you. Due to the external stability, you need to create less internal stability, and therefore it is a safer exercise to drive output, simply because there is less internal stability demand. A pull-up or a dip, on the other hand, need a lot more internal stability. Now, your spine and rib cage or the platform and not anymore the bench. Even though we're using similar muscle groups, but the problem is a totally different one. And that's why numbers don't translate. And also one of the reasons why performance can fluctuate on a session-to-session basis. Most of the time, that's not lost strength, it's lost positions. And once you understand constraints, another topic becomes so much clearer. The physique, the aesthetic representation. People ask me this a lot. Which sport gives you the best physique? But the question misses the mechanism, because no sport gives you the physique. Repeated exposure does. Muscles adapt to repeated mechanical tension under the same conditions over time. And that is what drives hypertrophy. If the conditions keep changing, adaptation resets. Different exercises, different angles, and different lengths. So, if your physique is not changing, the question is not, which sport should I do? The question is, did I repeat the same stimulus long enough to adapt? At this point, most people try to optimize frequency. And that's where the next mistake shows up. There is this myth going around, you need to train daily or very often. But the problem is not training often, the actual problem is training without reading fatigue. And fatigue shows up clearly. The first set, quality drops, fatigue is high, rep patterns feel clunky and off, even though you feel fresh. And we can see things like joint sensation changing, coordination getting worse, and multiple other signs. But those are signals. If you ignore them, frequency becomes damage If you respect them, then frequency becomes a tool. So, before adding more days, more volume, more variety, learn to read those signals. Because that's the difference between training and guessing. Streetlifting is not a trend. Streetlifting is a sport with specific demands and very specific constraints. If you treat it like a mix of everything, it will stall you or beat you up. But if you treat it like a sport with structure, constraints, and patience, it works extremely well. And everything else, programming, volume and intensity, biomechanics, only matter once this orientation is clear. That's a wrap for today's video. If you haven't done yet, please help me grow this channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel and turning on the notifications so you don't miss out on any new video. And if you're looking for guidance in your own training, or you need help with your training and you need someone on your side that helps you achieve your goals, break through your plateaus, then reach out for my one-on-one online coaching. The waitlist link is in the description down below. And if you want to know how I work, then subscribe to my newsletter. And yeah, that's it for today. See you in the next one.